Welcome to our show today, where I, your coach, David Eyiangho, reveals how wisdom impacts your daily life. Thank you for being part of the show. I appreciate your investment of your time to train your mind. That indeed is the hallmark of problem solvers. They are always learning. Last week, we released a podcast on business with momentum and longevity. This is just a follow-up from a key questions I got, which was that how does a one-man show scale a business? I thought to myself, well, let me just do this short show today to give the blueprint I learned from my mentor some 40 years ago. The blueprint always works magic in anything you want to build, including business, which is our topic today. So our show also come with complimentary deep dive into some of our show topics during our 3% Inner Circle monthly online marathon meeting. Most of our podcasts also come with GameChanger Coaching eNotes. For information on how to join the Inner Circle, the webpage is ntsl.com/3%. That is 3 and then PERCENT. ntsl.com/3%. As usual, my podcast is always evergreen. This is because these are timeless principles for mankind on which we can build the ever-changing world, confronting challenges head-on and continue to win. This is a show for family and finance. If you are new to our podcast, I welcome you and thank you for joining NTSL family of winners. Please let me encourage you, do go ahead and subscribe to the show from whichever platform that you are listening from. This will ensure also that you get an alert when there is a new dose of wisdom on things to do with your family and your finance. I want to sincerely thank you also for all that you do in telling other folks about the show, because without you doing that, there is no way to explain the steady growth that we are enjoying, and we find it so gratifying and so encouraging in preparing the show. So, like I said in the short intro on today's topic, is how to plan a scalable startups. So if you are about to start a new business, you're thinking about it, this is something that you must know before you do anything else, because all your plans are going to hinge on what you're about to hear today. Thanks to James for this question. Also, he's got an email from me with a very similar thing, and then he will get a copy of the of this podcast. For some of you listener who are versed in history, you will know that the British colonial empire was global. Anything that's huge, of course, will have problems that come with running and managing it. But the British government then, at that time, did, I believe, a pretty good job in certain areas, of course, but generally they did a pretty good job. I am not talking about the concept of colonial empire. That is a different topic for another day. But there was a time they used to say that the British Empire was a system designed by geniuses to be operated by idiots. I don't know about being operated by idiots, because an idiot can destroy a perfect system. But there is something to that saying. This analogy can be applied to a business. The wisdom in that saying is that when you are trying to convert a one-man show, means solo entrepreneur, into a business, you create a system. In other words, when you are trying to build something big, you must have the mindset to start by building it in small components, mini system, which I will call a total system when everything is in place. For example, a mini system in any business going places must include an automated customers acquisition system using, for example, the social media in the 21st century. So why a system? Because you must expect it to grow, and in the future create financial abundance to bless your family and to help other God's children. A limiting mindset, therefore, is always problematic. For example, a very common career handicap is opposing limits upon oneself. This happens when, for various reasons I have discussed in other podcasts and our eNotes, a person says, I just want a nice small business that doesn't get too big, or I just want a nice job without too much responsibility. The trouble is that, like any living organisms, a business and a career are either growing or shrinking. They just never stay the same. So fearing growth is tantamount to accepting a diminishing financial reality. That means moving away from ultimately sculpting a successful and fulfilled life. That, of course, is a big mistake. They have no awareness of spiritual consequences of limiting a person's mindset. This is very important. I wish I could go in details in this one sentence, but that's something we must take care of. So the most efficient way to build and scale a business, therefore, is when you have just started off on your own, to build a system that integrates all together. You put all those mini systems together and they'll start working for you. Then you have a business. Then what you have to do is to document the business, document the system in its entirety, and then when you need to expand, you simply employ people to fit into those mini systems, giving them the instructions, and they are able to do it. Building a system is very crucial. It is hard to build, difficult to maintain, but easy to destroy. Always remember that. But when you have a system that is being manned by the appropriate people, not idiots, please, that is why functional character traits, especially creativity, is very, very critical. to business. You can apply the same concept to living a good life. An example of a system is life. Your life is a very important system. I have spoken a lot about the 5 non-negotiables of life. It is a system of life. I have learned those 5 major things from 2 of my mentors in my life over the last 40 years. The system is faith, family, finance, friendship, and fitness. This is a roadmap to systemizing your life. None is more important than any of the other 4. The order does not really matter, but when you omit one, life drifts south over time, and it's not good news. Folks, my business happy warriors, that's how the world really works. If you buy in on what those professional, emotional manipulators are selling you on social media, conferences, TV, and newspaper, a day of reckoning is waiting for you. You need to build something the correct way. Don't just jump into things like a business or investments just because somebody said something. No. You need to follow the blueprint. If or when this happens, if you don't follow the blueprint, I am very sure people will always find everything, and they will find everybody to blame but themselves. But I have just told you the savage truths. Remember, this is where wisdom lives, because success is 80% wisdom. If you have wisdom, you will have your world under your control. That is all we have time for today. So I want to thank you for listening. Don't forget, if you want to join our 3% Inner Circle, it's an action-packed moving forward into the new year. The website is ntsl.com/3%. Please let me know your number 1 takeaway from this show. Until next show, I want you to have a passionate and profound growth in your families, in your friendships, in your finances, in your fitness, as well as in your faith. This is David Eyiangho. Remember, NTSL coaching is a safe place in an unsafe world. I want you to stay strong, be of good courage, and always be around winners, people that are taking you to where you have not been before. You stay safe and stay blessed.